And we're live. Hello and
Woo.
welcome back, everyone. Today we are back with a very exciting new summer release. And because it's a special release, we have a special guest with us. So we have with us today Mr. Nick Tassini, who also happens to be the CEO of Vinton by Native Video.
Indeed. Hello, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay.
Molto bene. Your audio is a bit, kind of homely, but I think that, comes with... And by the way, I've been told that I'm too much in the camera, so I'll try to stand back.
And I will try to be more in the camera.
But without further ado, let me share my screen with a bit of a zoom effect for a second. But what we want to take a look at are the release notes, because that's what we're talking about. And we have this magic release that is just fantastic.
Yes.
Right? So Mina, take us through it. What's good?
We have a lot of new features in this release. We have Ask Vinton, we have individual note takers, we have uploading, we have video trimming, deleting individual media. You can edit transcript, you can have subtitles.
How many things?
So many things. So one by one, we'll go over each and every one of them, and you can ask questions from me or from Vinton, however you like it.
Well, let's do it.
Let's start with
Ask Vinton. Yeah, my favorite one. So I'll take this one. I'll take this one. So we are in the demo environment.
Yes.
Right, Mina?
If you could open any call on your Vinton tab.
I will...
Let's go with the discovery
to a discovery call, right? So as always, Vinton captures conversations, all sorts of conversation. In this case, it's a video call. It could be an in-person conversation. Right?
Yes.
It could be a phone
call.
And rebuilds it with insights in your Salesforce. Distributes the information across all objects, records associated. And then Ask Vinton. We can...
Basically, this is a feature that we've built for you. You can ask any questions that you want. So for instance, if you don't have the time to go through the transcript, or if you're looking for something specific, which you think that you might not be able to find in the summary, you can just ask questions about it. You can either type the questions, or if you're too busy to type it, you can just voice record it.
Can I talk to Vinton?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that talk to Vinton is it's a bit of a new thing, but so it actually happened to me the other day. I was thinking about a conversation that I had last week, and I remember that these guys mentioned a competitor, but I didn't remember which one they did actually mention.
Well, let's ask Vinton.
We could go through the transcript, which is a very long transcript, or just ask Vinton. Was
I think you should just
AI note taker mentioned in this call like a competitor? We can talk very informally to Vinton, right?
Yes.
So Vinton goes into the call and says, "Oh yes, an AI note taker was mentioned, specifically Otter, Firefly." So 3 were mentioned actually in this particular example. Wow, that's cool. So what other questions can we ask?
You can ask anything. For instance, if you want to ask about what the number of licenses in our terms, if you want to ask about the company size, if they've mentioned number of licenses they want,
or objections or concerns.
Next steps for yourself. You can also ask it to generate an email address. An email, a follow-up email in a tone that you would like to
maybe
have.
Different from this one. This one is too formal.
Yes.
I can say, hey, help me out with a short, informal email that looks into that. So what I can do is maybe ask.
Go ahead.
Using my voice.
Yes.
Hey, Vinton, hello. Can you help me understand if in this call there were mention of the size of the company, or maybe any concerns that the client has? It's a very long question that would take me half an hour to type. So, whoa, look at that. Size of the company. It's a big team, so no particular size, but it's a larger size.
Yeah.
And then concerns, security and compliance policies, existing tools are very hit and miss and not integrated with Salesforce. Another concern. Oh, fantastic. This is very helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Maybe we could talk to Nick a bit and we can understand why we created this feature and what was the thought behind it.
So Nick,
So the feedback that we receive from our customers is that all the insights that we normally generate from the original transcript of video calls are great, But sometimes, as Luca was saying, you just need a quick answer on a specific topic or a specific question that we do not capture out of the box. So that's how Ask Me Anything has been born as part of the Vinton tab. And it's also there to, as Mino was saying, to generate specific items in specific formats. So with customers, for example, using Ask Me Anything to produce specific documents or formats that obviously we can't really capture with the generic insights.
Yeah. And we also had some of our clients who were using Vinton say that we take the transcript, we paste it into GPT, and then we ask questions about it.
Right, yes. That's right. We heard that. That's right.
So that was basically the birthplace of this feature. That why would you have to go anywhere else when you have us? So that's
exactly. So yeah, actually talking about which, the behind the scenes, we are leveraging the same large language model that is plugged to help Vinton, which by default, we're using OpenAI, the latest model that they have, but we give the opportunity to our clients to bring their own.
Exactly.
If they have a preferred or a customized large language model, they can absolutely do that. Now, it's a packed session, so this individual note taker is really exciting. So can you take us through it? So
yes.
What's the...
So we've had a lot of feedback from a lot of our clients that they had to invite the note taker to every call, and the note taker did not have access to their own personal calendar because we had an org-wide note taker. So with this, we're fixing that problem. So whereas now you can connect your own email address as a note taker, so you don't have to invite Vinton into calls anymore. It will just follow you wherever you are.
So whenever I'm booked in a meeting, it will come. Will it actually enter the meeting automatically?
No. Everything works the same way that it used to work.
Okay.
It would wait in the waiting room 2 minutes before the call. Then you go in the call, you would admit the note taker in the call, and then it's all recorded. The only problem that we're solving with this is that now you don't have to stress about, oh, did I invite the note taker? Oh, is it going to join? Is it not going to join? So it's all sorted now.
And Nick, I see Google Calendar. That's because I'm using Google?
That's right, because that's in the demo org, we've configured that to run with the Google Calendar integration. But of course, it's available also for Microsoft Calendar. So Office 365 is the alternative. So as an admin, I can go there and set once at the beginning.
If you could go to the native video admin configurations.
Ooh, should I go there? And Nick, while I do that, do you mind finding headphones or something? Because it sounds like you're in a cave. So is this where I want to go?
Yes. So if you could go to settings, you can see that we've activated individual bots, and below it you have a calendar preference, because if you're an organization, you would either use Google or Microsoft. So we give you an option to choose one of them. So for instance, if you use Microsoft over here, then on the settings page you would have an option to authenticate with your Microsoft account.
And the basic recommendation, maybe it's obvious, but our users should always connect the calendar that they use for work.
Yes, basically the email that's your user has on
because that's
Salesforce.
The Vinton following thing.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Anything to add on the individual bot? It's packed. Individual note takers done.
Just to say that there's been an effort from a user experience point of view to make it very, very simple for the end users to actually go in and opt in for and connect their own calendar. So the very first time they use the Vinton tab, or if they are existing Vinton users, they very easy go in and with literally a couple of clicks, they can connect their own calendar and select the key preferences.
That makes sense. So it's an option. Nick, you're still sounding from a cave. So I actually don't see you. So you might
maybe I'm in a cave.
Oh, maybe you are in a cave. That's
right.
Okay. Chrome extension. So who's excited about this? I am. Right.
So again, with Chrome extension, we're solving the same issue, whereas sometimes the note taker does not join because you've not invited it in the call. So we're removing every possibility where you can say that, hey, note taker did not join. You have Chrome extension. You can invite the bot directly from the extension. You can now with Chrome extension either play or pause or resume a recording. So you haven't logged in.
Yes.
No, I haven't logged
Why?
in. That's very good. That's all because it's a very informal demo.
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
I'm using Chrome right now. So if I'm in a call and I'm logged in, that's where
Yes,
I will see the
exactly.
pause
So
and
you
resume.
can, so for instance, you're
that's
talking
example
about
here.
something that you do not want to be recorded. You don't want this to be part of the recording.
Okay.
You don't want this to be part of the insights. You can just pause the recording and then talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can then resume it afterwards. So it's basically giving you that flexibility of not kicking the bot out, but also not recording certain sessions of the call as whatever is needed for that particular call. Because we hear from a lot of clients that can we delete media, the whole media, because there were some parts of the call that
they would
want,
rather
yes.
not
So,
keep as a record.
exactly. So
Makes
now
sense.
we give you an option to pause and resume as you're recording it.
Makes sense. Fantastic. So that's a cool session. I'm trying to keep them on time. So next one is upload media.
Yes.
So what is
you
this
see
about?
this little icon on the
This guy?
Yes. So now you can
Zoom in. This
yes.
one. Ooh la la.
So now if you have, so let's imagine the scenario that you've just onboarded with us, but you had a few calls before you were introduced to the magic of Vinton,
Yeah.
and now you want the insights of those calls as well. So what you can do is you can simply upload them, the MP4 or MP3 files.
Got it.
We support both MP3 and MP4 files. The file should not be up to 4 GB. The call should not be up to 4 hour long.
4 GB. That's an entire.
Oh, sorry, 2 GB. I'm sorry.
That's an entire. Well, still, 2
sorry.
2 GB is an entire movie.
Oh, well,
Quite a lot.
So we would support the movie.
Yes. And then it would generate insights as it does for a call that's recorded by Vinton.
So what are the scenarios, Nick, that we see with our clients with this?
Yeah, as Mina said, like, you just onboarded, you've got existing, interactions. Typically, they will talk about like training sessions. So you had a bunch of training sessions that maybe you recorded via Zoom or Teams, and in some cases you want to, have them inside Salesforce with all the insights that we produce, right? So the summary, and all the meeting minutes, the topics, and all of that. So you have existing media that could be in-person meetings, that could be video calls, and you just uploading into LinkedIn.
So in a way, this is working on the broader value of centralizing data in,
Absolutely.
media data in this case in one place in Salesforce. So before, a lot of the focus is, even for us, Vinton, and to some extent also the Chrome extension, is on the efficiency of working, right? So saving time, being super fast. In this case, it's about centralizing data, which is
and having all of your data within Salesforce, which is also
processed in a centralized place. Makes sense. Media uploads. That's what. Video trimming. You mentioned it earlier with the pause and resume. So what is it?
Yeah, so a lot of our clients come to us and say that, hey, we do not want the first 3 minutes of the call because it was introduction and we don't want it to be here. It was informal. We don't want that video to be here. Or we want to trim the last part of the call because it was just goodbyes and somebody had talked about something personal, and we don't want that to be part of our video that comes inside Salesforce. So now we give you an ability to trim the call from start or end, and then just have that part of the recording relevant. So when you select that and then you say when we process, it would trim the whole file, and it would also update the transcript.
So it eliminates the voice. Of course, it eliminates the voice. So if there's something that you don't really want to have in your video in your Salesforce,
update the transcript, the summary, and everything.
Sounds good. Sounds very good. This is clear, I think, and again,
you can also trim recordings.
Quality of data.
Exactly.
I think it's the ultimate benefit here.
In person, you can also trim in-person meetings or video. It's for both.
Okay. So all the interactive media that you've created. Now, delete media is an interesting one. This one I can tell you about because we have a couple of clients that, for liability reasons mainly, and some for compliance and adopting their client's perspective, they don't want, or they want to reassure their customers that the conversations that they have will not be saved in their entirety. Only insights will be saved. Right?
Yes.
So what they do is they use a delete media either by setting it up in a way in their Salesforce, as we know it's possible, or by simply going here and clicking on this button here, right?
Exactly.
And that eliminates effectively the media,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So the video. So
Yes, so we do have an ability where you as a customer can set the number of days after which the media file would be deleted for a video, in person, or a voice recording. But a lot of our clients came back to us and said, we do not want to delete all of the media files for all of the in-person meetings. We want to keep some and we want to delete some, and we want to be able to do that manually as opposed to something that's automatically set up. So this gives you an ability to pick and choose the recordings that you want to keep. Or
I'm trying to find where that setting is. I don't remember.
If you could go to generic configurations.
Configurations, yeah. The last time.
Oh, in Vinton,
yes,
sorry.
Generic configuration, storage.
Oh, there it
you
is.
go.
So the default is a year.
Yes.
Yes,
And
and just to be clear, this functionality, as Mina was saying, was already available in the previous release. What we have done with this new version, with the Summer 25 version of Vinton, is to extend the granularity and the control that you have. So now you could have a generic rule that says, after a year, you delete the videos, but actually you can then control the visibility and the storage duration for any specific video call instance by going to the Vinton tab and decide to delete that specific media.
Directly in here, as we were seeing with this. That sounds...
And in which case, as we said, all the transcript and the insights will stay there. It's just the actual video file that will not be playable.
Exactly. And you as an admin can also control whether or not you want to give users the option to delete the media or not. So for example, if you don't want users to delete media, you can just go to the admin panel and select it as nobody should be able to delete it. So this is something that you have a control as an admin.
That makes sense.
Or you would want
centralized control, basically. That makes sense. Now, the next one is an interesting one, and it's editing for transcripts and then search and replace.
Yes.
And this is something that I requested.
Yes.
Right?
So why don't you tell us why?
Yeah. Well, I apparently I have an accent, and when I
I have a thicker accent.
when I speak in English, some words come through not exactly as they should. So let me show you an example with this. I don't think we actually have an example, but let's say my example is, Salesforce. So Salesforce is probably mentioned a number of times. 8 times. You can see that here in the transcript. Now, you can see this new thing. So the idea is, let's say Salesforce was misinterpreted as a transcription because it was mispronounced by someone like me all the time. So we can go in here and use the search and replace, making sure that whenever Salesforce, that particular word that we expect it to be misspelled, is replaced with SF, right? And we can do replace just once and go through each of them, or
just
replace all. So if I click this, all of a sudden replaced 8 occurrences. And you can see that now, wherever it says, here, it says, now it's going. And it allows me to say that it's also, kind of going directly into the editing as well. So you can see an example here. We can, type anything or Salesforce in the transcript. Now, why would I want to change the transcript directly?
Because when you have something that is mispronounced in the transcript, because the insights are generated from the transcript, the insights would have the wrong spellings as well. So when you do this and you click on regenerate insights,
this guy,
yes, it will regenerate all the insights with the new change that you have, which happens to me all the time. So I pronounce Vinton with a W.
Really?
I have to go in and change everything because now it changes the name of the product, which is not really a good thing. So I have to now I have a feature in here where I can just change it and reprocess it and everything's perfect after that.
Fair enough.
Again, this is also for accuracy and making sure that you have the right data and insights, because you're bringing everything in Salesforce and then you're going to use it in different features that Salesforce has, like reporting, Agentforce, and all of those things. So it's very important that.
Now, moving on. Interest of time. We're 20 minutes in, and we're probably we're making good time. So, Nick, this is one that you like particularly, right? The subtitle.
Yes, definitely, because it's has been in a way also a quick win. So it's something that we worked in the past. It's a functionality that we had as part of the native video platform which is sort of the ancestor of Vinton in a way. And the work that we've done with the team was kind of to make sure that the subtitles generation was up and running again and working extremely well, compatible with both video calls and audio recordings. And now our users can simply turn them on in the admin panel. And once they've done that, they will basically enjoy the ability of having subtitles appearing both in the video player and in the audio player. So this is the first step of a longer journey, a longer vision. So possibly next step would be to allow also having different languages and translations of the original subtitles, so that you can also watch and look back at video calls, for example, with prospect customers in a language that you don't fully grasp. So super excited about that, and hopefully our customers will love that too.
Yeah.
And we have an example. Let me go full screen here. Great to hear. Send proposal and sample. So
Yes.
if let me mute this. So if I play this, and it plays, and we have the ability to see what actually is said on screen, which is
Absolutely.
quite handy. And Nick, what's this about the languages?
So languages, these are the subtitles that has been generated, which is basically at this point of time following the original language of the video call. So this call has been recorded in English, and therefore we will have the English subtitle available. As I mentioned, the next steps would be to simplify the translation into several different other languages. So if you had a call, for example, in Spanish, and you don't fully understand Spanish, you'll be able to translate that subtitle into an English equivalent and basically look back at the video, look at what has been shared, for example, but being able to follow that, with the English subtitles.
So you basically choose your own language
For the
from a list
Exactly.
for subtitles, and they're auto-generated. You said, right? So
Right.
we don't. So our clients don't need to do
No
that.
effort for the end user, just turn on and you'll be
Also,
there.
like if you're editing the transcript, the subtitles will also update. So for example, if you've edited the transcript and fixed a spelling mistake in the transcript,
Oh, a dynamic.
the subtitles would also update.
Oh wow.
And then if you're trimming the video, the subtitles will also update to the new video. So it's all
That makes
working in sync.
That makes total sense. So here it is, right?
Yeah.
We went through that. Now, mobile app changes. This is one of my favorites. So I will talk about it just briefly. I don't think we can show it to you right now because it's on my mobile phone and I don't have a cable to connect it. But one interesting feature is using Vinton to record from mobile phone in-person conversations. So like me and Mina, we could actually have my mobile on the table here and record our conversation. Or audio notes. So I'm walking away from a client meeting, kind of going to some places, and I want to brain dump everything that I think I know, I note that is relevant for my Salesforce record. Now, we do that historically with Vinton, but it passes by, or up until yesterday, it was passing by the Salesforce mobile app.
Yes.
Right. So you open Salesforce, you go to the right record, or you go to the Vinton tab, and then you launch the recording from there. It's a couple too many clicks.
Yes, and now we've removed the dependency, so you just need to have your Vinton app.
Exactly.
And it's as simple as going in,
So you go,
hitting record.
you open your Vinton app,
Yes.
and I'm doing it right now.
And
it's empty, as you can see, but I can tap on the recording and it gives me the two options, voice note or in-person meeting. And I can tap on one, and now I am recording a new voice note, and I'm doing it directly in my Salesforce Vinton library, right?
Yeah.
So that's the important thing, because we're still closing the loop. We're still sending everything in Salesforce. We're just not immediately associating it with a specific record. And then we will use the assign record.
Correct.
Yes.
To close the loop.
It will go to your Vinton tab, and then you can assign participants. In an in-person meeting, you already have to go in and assign participants. So when you do that,
So
it will go to.
this is the example, right, where we have an in-person meeting, and we can
Yeah.
in this example here, we can actually go in and select
Yes.
who was speaking at any point in time
If you go to
in the
transcript.
transcript. Exactly. Now, one thing that is interesting is the use case that we heard from a couple of clients, which is using, and this is the assign,
Yes.
right?
So you can
Reassign
search.
participant if
Yes.
they are assigned or not, and all of that. Now, fine. They use from one of our clients is, I don't know why it's gone here. Let me go back there. Is in offline scenarios. So the field teams that are working from remote areas where they don't have any network reception. So that we know that the Vinton app can also work offline. So it can actually be launched. It will hold on to the recording offline.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's connected to the network, it will be synced back, and everything is back in Salesforce where it belongs. We also heard a couple of clients that don't have a big adoption on the Salesforce app on their mobile phones. So this actually solves it, because it's just there, for that particular use of recording an audio or recording an in-person conversation.
Okay. Do you want to see if we have any
Yes.
questions?
Do we have any questions? Can you check? Because or maybe I can stop sharing from this.
I don't think so.
And I'll stop sharing if we have any question. If not, I can kind of share a couple of questions that I've heard regarding the specifically, one that comes to mind, it was just earlier today when I talked about the Chrome extension and the pause and record, which is a very interesting use and specific feature. I was asked, but it works in Meet because Meet happens in a browser, but it doesn't work with Zoom and Teams. And actually, it does work with Zoom and Teams, because both of them can be used from a browser.
Yeah.
So it's just a user selection, and if you know that it's going to be important for you to have that option to pause and resume a recording, then you can actually make sure that you use a browser when you connect to your meeting. So that's question and answer there from me. What's another good? And this is something that we will answer early next week. When we talk about going back to the first feature, the most interesting feature, the Ask Vinton. The question that I got was, okay, so you're asking a question about one call, one call at a time, right? So that's where Ask Vinton operates. What if I have a broader question about all the interactions, all the information relating to an opportunity or relating to an account? What's the status of this opportunity, or is the stage of the opportunity up to date, or what's the overall risk with this account? It doesn't only come from one question. So what do we have in our back pocket for that? Who can tell me?
Well,
can we? So there is something. There's something we've been cooking for quite a while, and we will publicly release that next week. But just a hint of that is that we'll be using the most marketed product right now by Salesforce to kind of bring everything together and really give you all the insights that you need, not just specific, as we were saying, on an interaction, so it could be a video call or an in-person meeting, but kind of bringing all this information together, all the information that comes from the CRM, all the integration, possibly from Data Cloud, and of course, all the Vinton interaction, all at the same time, so that you can really query and get all the insights they need in one single place.
Fantastic. So, and I think that, kind of solution, I think it starts with an A
Possibly, yes,
and
possibly.
ends with GenForce. That's
Possibly, yeah.
That's my guess.
That's what we heard.
I'm not sure. I actually don't know what it is, but that's a hint.
Yeah.
And if people endured for the whole 30 minutes,
we thank you.
We thank you. We really appreciate it. And what's the invitation for them? Well, first of all, try Vinton is free to use.
Get in touch.
Get in touch, ask Mina, and she will ask Vinton.
And then we'll solve all your problems.
Right? And then 2 more recommendations. Tomorrow, so Friday, what is it, the 10th, the 9th? The 6th. Okay, so I'm way ahead. Tomorrow, Friday morning, we will be on stage. This same duo presenting at London's Calling. So see you there if you're going. It's the largest Salesforce community event in Europe. So we're expecting a few thousand people in the audience, looking at our, some of the functionalities that we've shown here in a slightly different light. And next week, Agentforce. Oh, did I mention it? No, it's the Agentforce tour. So I'm not talking about an integration that we've done. It's called the Agentforce World Tour, London. It's happening, you guessed it, in London at the Excel, and we will be there shaking hands. By that point, we will have this new, very secretive release out, and we will be talking to clients and prospects, and you, if you're coming, come and look for us, about our latest innovation, especially that particular integration that starts with an A.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Nick, for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was so nice to have you here.
Yeah, and it's a summer release, so someone actually looks like it's summer. We're in London, so it's kind of raining and like 15 degrees Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. And with that,
we say
let's
goodbye.
hope for better weather, and we say goodbye. See you in a month with more innovation, or over the next few days at the various Salesforce events.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Johnny,
Bye-bye.
thank you guys. Bye. Thank you, Mina.